What's up, guys? Hayden here. And today was rough, man. I had to put in some work. One of my primary guys that I've been using has been feeling really sick. So I'm essentially just having to fill in for him. And it has totally discarded that which I was planning to work on for the rest of this week. It's just totally discarded it. That which I had planned for the week is no more. And there probably is something I could have done about it, but not much. Not really. It's not something I could have necessarily talked my way out of. I find myself a bit conflicted, but also just what I mean by a bit conflicted, it's the past month I have used subcontractors and I haven't been painting myself, with quality cuts. And I find myself a little bit conflicted about that because I know that I could have gotten the same amount of work done and sold probably the same amount of jobs because I don't get very many leads. And I made way less money. I still made money, and I had tons of time, so I was able to make less money. I made more per hour, but it came with some of its own sacrifices. I had to pay for that more per hour, So it was its own difficulty in and of itself. Anyways, today's for the most part over. I'm about to have to do some schoolwork, which is another thing that I am not looking too much forward to. But what I wanted to talk to you guys today about, all that being said, I wanted to give some words of wisdom, and the words of wisdom that I'm wanting to give today pertain to difficulty in your life, breakdowns in your life, disappointments in your life, things not going your way. What hasn't gone your way recently? What type of breakdown has occurred in your life that you didn't expect and that brought more stress than you were prepared to deal with? We talk about being mentally prepared for something, and we can take it better when we're mentally prepared. You need to be mentally expectant. And that's what this word of wisdom is about. Being mentally expectant of breakdowns to occur. Having the expectancy, and I'm not talking about being cynical about life or nihilistic about life or have a bad view of life. What I mean is, you cannot go about your life in this idealistic bubble that everything is going to go according to your plan forever. I mean, it comes with maturity that you begin to understand this, but the younger that you can begin to understand that the plans that you make are going to go asunder because we live in a fallen and broken world. We live in a world where people are going to let you down. We live in a world where you are going to let you down also. So all that being said, I'm stirred today because today I had to take on an enormous amount of stress. Not only with the school workload that I currently have, but also with just the breakdowns that are happening within my company. The relational stress. Today's my wife and I's anniversary, and I'm over here having to put in like a 12-hour day and then do school. And it's not the easiest thing to have to do, but breakdowns happen. And I've learned something over the years, which has caused me to be a little bit less neurotic when they happen. And that is, I expect them. I just expect for the breakdowns to happen. I expect things to not go my way. Now, that doesn't keep me from planning. There's a key insight here that you have to continue to be optimistic, and you have to continue to believe things are going to go your way. That the tides will turn. And that the work you're putting in isn't for nothing. It's not just all going to break down and fall apart. That was something that kept me paralyzed for, I would say, probably years, was this idea of entropy and how everything is breaking down. You know, the idea of entropy. Everything is trying to move towards chaos. Your car is trying to move towards breaking down. You are slowly degrading and breaking down. You're slowly dying. Everything moves towards entropy unless you're putting in the energy to keep it together. Now, because of this, despite your best efforts and your best laid plans, things aren't going to go your way sometimes. A lot of times. And the key is to be expectant of this. And I know that I'm just repeating that again and again, but I want you to get it. You need to expect things to go wrong and be okay with it and not allow it to paralyze you from making plans and taking massive actions in your life. It shouldn't be something that keeps you from pressing through just because things went wrong for the umpteenth time. No. Because we get to learn from every single thing that happens in our life. And if you're learning, you're going to be okay. And you're going to get through it. So, that being said, guys, I had a good day. I was able to finish an audiobook called Thinking Fast and Slow, which I'm going to do a summary on here soon. I was able to listen to some Jim Rohn. He's one of my favorite inspirational, motivational speakers slash coaches slash mentors. Even though he's not a physical relationship mentor of mine, he mentors me. And I have a few of those that I've put up in my life. You know, sometimes you can't always have that ideal mentor in your life in a physical way. They happen, right? But you also need to bring mentors into your life through reading, through listening to teachings, through going to seminars, bettering yourself, investing in yourself. And all of that's going to help you to cope, which is essentially what I'm talking about right now, and that's coping. Right? You have a strategy that you've made. You have this plan that you've laid out, right? You have this strategy, the steps you're going to take. What ends up getting implemented is maybe 30% of that strategy. But what occurs during the implementation attempt for the strategy that you've developed is what's called the emerging strategy, or the emergent strategy, the true implementation that ends up taking place in the lessons that you end up learning through taking the actions of implementing things within your strategy, and then learning from those implementations on what went well and what went wrong. Where were the breakdowns? Why did they happen? And how can you minimize them? Because they are going to happen, but how can you minimize them, right? Having a spare tire minimizes the chances of you being stranded if you have a blowout. Having a spare thing of gasoline minimizes your chances of running out of gas if you don't put enough gas in your gas tank often enough. Having jumper cables minimizes your chances of being stranded at a parking lot, having to go around asking for jumper cables to get back started. These are just some practical examples of things that you can have in place within your life that were put in place by foresight that keep the breakdown from becoming worse than it really is. Because usually breakdowns have pretty simple solutions. So are you going to learn from your breakdowns, and what are the solutions that you're finding? So one of my solutions is communication. I need to get better at expectation setting, at under-promising big time, and at being okay with letting people down. So I didn't want to let anybody down, so I'm doing the most right now. And I didn't have to do that. I could have freed up my time just through not looking the best and being okay with not looking the best, but at least keeping my time management, what I'm trying to be doing with my time, keeping those rules, because my goal is to not have my hand in the brush. And look where I was all day. I had my hand in the brush. I was painting all day today and all day yesterday, and I think for part of the day before. Now, it's not all bad. Like, there's good things that came from me doing that, and there's a silver lining, but my ultimate goal is to not be painting, and the sooner that I can step into that, the better. So I always have my antennas up. I'm always asking myself, okay, what caused me to get back into painting this week? What caused that? Where was that breakdown? How did I not plan? And I never shift the blame on anybody else. Yeah, things happened, and yeah, people were a part of the things that happened this week for me, but it's not anybody's fault. It's not even my own fault. I'm learning. Each and everything is causing me to get towards that ultimate goal of having my business make this certain amount, doing this with my time in my business, not doing this with my time in my business, and having those boundaries set in place. And there's a couple of different things I'm going to implement to help me to do that. And number one is going to be the expectation setting with people. Number two is going to be not relying on only one person, which is what I did for a month and a half. Though I do want to help and I do want to invest in people, I cannot, out of necessity, I can't. It's not even that I don't want to help people, but out of necessity, I cannot rely on one person. So I relied on one person, and I made it okay because, I'm investing in this person, so I kind of will need to rely on them if they're going to be able to continue to have work. And I have this whole thing set up in my head as to why I was doing that, but the reality is I just need to get better. I just need to be okay with disappointing people. I just need to sell more jobs, right? There's a lot of solutions to this problem that I'm finding, and there's going to be more that come up. But simultaneously, I'm not beating myself up. I'm not becoming neurotic and emotionally charged with stress. And my quality of life has not gone down. It's gone up. It's increased. It's become more. I've learned so many things today. I meditated on so many things today. I listened to like 4 hours of books today. I usually don't have the time to do that. I was thankful for the past couple of days and me having time to actually get through some of the books that I've been trying to get through. I've almost finished 2 books now, and it feels great to be able to get through those books. It's been not easy. I'm not going to say it's not easy. It's been hard, but in terms of how I've coped with things and in terms of my neuroticism, I haven't been neurotic at all. That has felt good. Maybe I've been a little neurotic, I don't know. Sometimes you don't see it and you have blind spots in your life, and that's a whole nother video. But this video was all about breakdowns, expecting them, having the right perspective about them, and having the right attitude about them. Because the breakdowns in your life are what make you who you are more than the things going perfectly. That being said, guys, this is Hayden with some words of wisdom. Check out the new hat. Check out the new shirt. Quality Coats Painting. Killing it. Super excited about this business. It's been going good. It's been difficult. It's been a challenge. It's changed me in a lot of ways, but it's been worth every minute of it. And I look forward to the next couple of years and being able to see the fruit of all of my hard work begin to come into fruition. Some of that vision to begin to come to pass more. I'm already seeing deposits of it, but I'm excited to see even more. But here's the thing, and I'll just leave you guys with this. Me being happy isn't me achieving that. Me being happy is right now. I genuinely am happy with the journey, not any destination, not any goal that I have. I've come to realize that I can't even be fulfilled outside of God's grace actually fulfilling my heart. I have a God-shaped vacuum within my heart that only gets fulfilled by the love of God. But what I've begun to learn more and more is, though it's important to have goals, you can't be living for those goals. You need to be living now. Like right now, you need to be living. Because if you're living right now, you're going to be a happier person. So, anyways, guys, happiness is a whole nother topic, and we can talk a whole lot about it. But I'll save that for another talk. Hayden signing out. If you like my content, like and subscribe. Sorry I don't make it all fancy, but I like this more. It's a little easier for me, and that's a whole nother talk about habits and implementing things in your life and making things easier. But now I'm just rambling. Bless you guys. Have a good night, or have a good morning, or have a good afternoon, whatever time it is as you're watching this. Peace.